guys. We are back with another song by Eminem. And what are we doing today?
Today we're doing Sing for the Moment.
I think I know that.
Yeah, it's a big song.
Was it on the radio?
I think so. There was a music video. I know it was all over MTV when it came out.
Oh, yeah, then I know it. I think I know it.
Yeah, so there's a skit beforehand, Paul. So another Paul skit. Um,
Who is Paul again?
his manager.
Okay,
Yeah, he's like a lawyer and stuff. Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, so we'll do the Paul skit and then we'll go into Sing for the Moment, which Sing for the Moment famously samples Dream On by Aerosmith.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I think I know that. Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. All right.
Are all managers lawyers? I didn't know that.
No, not necessarily.
Oh,
Paul just happens to be.
that would make sense.
Yeah.
Um, Paul, listen. Joel just called me, and he told me you're in the fucking back behind the studio, shooting your gun off in the air like it's a shooting range. I told you not to fucking bring your gun around like an idiot outside of your home. You're gonna get yourself in trouble. Don't bring your gun outside of your home. You can't carry it on you. Leave your fucking gun at home.
Is that real?
It might be. So, like, we've been hearing the theme so far throughout this album that he's had a few actual gun incidents and got himself into some legal trouble over it. So,
What's he firing it at? Just
he's just
nothing?
shooting it.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah. Paul skits, I think they're the best skits. They're very funny.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, move right into Sing for the Moment.
Mhm.
Let's go.
These ideas are nightmares to white parents whose worst fear is a child with dyed hair and who likes earrings. Like whatever they say has no bearing. It's so scary in a house that allows no swearing. To see him walking around with his headphones blaring, alone in his own zone, cold and he don't care. He's a problem child. And what bothers him all comes out when he talks about his fucking dad walking out. Cause he hates him so bad that he blocks him out. If he ever saw him again, he'd probably knock him out. His thoughts are whacked, he's mad so he's talking back, talking black, brainwashed from rock and rap. He sags his pants, blue rags and a stocking cap. His stepfather hit him so he socked him back and broke his nose. His house is a broken home, there's no control, he just lets his emotions go.
So,
Yeah, I know this song. I think it was on the radio, or at least it was just like super big.
yeah, I think it might have
Super
been.
big.
It was huge.
Yeah.
So he starts off the first verse. He says, "These ideas are nightmares to white parents whose worst fear is a child with dyed hair and who likes earrings."
That's so funny because like if you think of it being a girl, like there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
And even with a guy, there's really nothing wrong with that.
but back in the
But like
day,
it's funny if you think of it being a girl.
yeah. So it's 2002, this album, so there's a lot more, you know, conservative family values socially at the time. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it's definitely far more conservative than it is today.
yeah,
Like I remember when I was younger, like earrings like were a girl thing, but like a lot of boys always wanted to get their ear pierced, and like a lot of like my parents' friends and like my friends at school, like their parents really wouldn't let them get their ears pierced. The guys.
that happened to me. I wanted to get my ears pierced for so long, and then I think maybe eighth grade, because you had to, if you were underage, your parents had to,
Sign off on it,
yes,
like bring you. Yeah.
yes. So my parents finally let me do it, and then so I got my one ear pierced, and then I wanted to get the other one, and I had to wait like another like year or two.
You
So it
know
was
what?
so
You
funny.
know what's really funny? When I was in kindergarten, I went to a like nice jeweler to go get my ears pierced, and like we didn't know that it was the type of place that does one at a time, which is like not the place you bring a 5-year-old to. So I got one done, screams my head off, ran out the jeweler, refused to go back, went home, had one ear pierced for a whole freaking like 6 months because me and my mom could not get that earring out. And for some reason, she just never bothered bringing me back to the jeweler. So I walked around as a little 5-year-old girl with one ear pierced for like half of kindergarten.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was like a random story, but
Different
it's funny.
times. No, it is funny.
Yeah.
So then he goes on to say, like whatever they say has no bearing. It's so scary in a house that allows no swearing. So
My house allowed no swearing when I was
yes.
younger.
So the
That's
parents are
common.
so, and then he says these ideas are nightmares to white parents. We kind of get into it a little bit more. It's talking about, like his lyrics and,
Yeah.
he's bringing black culture into the homes of suburban white kids. You know what I mean? And it was scaring some parents.
Pussy.
Yeah. Says to see him walking around with his headphones blaring, alone in his own zone, cold, and he don't care. He's a problem child, and what bothers him all comes out when he talks about his fucking dad walking out. So,
So is this like about him though?
so I was just about to say that. So he's talking about the the generic youth of America, but
Yeah.
this 100% is him. You know what I mean? He's using his own experience to relate to who he's speaking to. You know
Because
what
he
I
also
mean?
dyes his hair. I don't think he was dyeing when he was younger, but I don't know. But
Yeah. So then he says, because he hates him so bad, he blocks him out. If he ever saw him again, he'd probably knock him out. His
his
dad.
dad.
Yeah. His thoughts are whacked. He's mad, so he's talking back, talking black, brainwashed from rock and rap.
That's our whole channel.
Yeah.
Rock and rap.
Yeah. So it's interesting that he uses the phrase brainwashed, like, which is what he's fighting against. I mean, his whole career, that music
Yeah,
is
like
actually
it isn't
brainwashing.
brainwashing you.
Yeah, but he's alluding to, the view of, like, the parents, how they're seeing it.
Okay, yeah.
So then he says he sags his pants, do-rags, and a stocking cap. His stepfather hit him, so he socked him back, and broke his nose. His house is a broken home. There's no control. He just lets his emotions go. So yeah, again, like you picked up on, this is kind of like his life, even though he's talking about,
Yeah, but you also can't blame the music because I feel like even if he weren't listening to that, like let's say he were just listening to like, I don't know, country, he'd still be so angry because of his dad.
of course.
So you can't blame the music on
Yeah, no, definitely not. So he just lets his emotions go, and then it goes into the chorus, which is again, like I mentioned, sampled from Dream On
that. Yeah.
by Aerosmith. It says, sing with me, sing for the years, sing for the laughter, sing for the tears, sing it with me just for today. Maybe tomorrow the good Lord will take you away.
His voice is so good. It's like so hard to understand what he's saying
Steven
though.
Tyler,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like I don't think I knew the words to that song until I just read them just
really,
now.
that's so funny.
Yeah.
All
And
right,
like dream on. Dream
yes,
on.
all right, we'll pick it up here.
Entertainment is changing, intertwining with gangsters. In the land of the killers, a sinner's mind is a sanctum. Holy or unholy, only have one homie. Only this gun, only cause don't anyone know me. Yet everybody just feels like they can relate. I guess words are a motherfucker. They can be great, or they can degrade, or even worse, they can teach hate. It's like these kids hang on every single statement we make, like they worship us. Plus all the stores ship us platinum. Now how the fuck did this metamorphosis happen? From standing on corners and porches just rapping, to having a fortune, no more kissing ass. But then these critics crucify you, journalists try to burn you, fans turn on you, attorneys all wanna turn it to get their hands on every dime you have. They want you to lose your mind every time you mad, so they can try to make you out to look like a loose cannon. Any dispute won't hesitate to produce handguns. That's why these prosecutors wanna convict me, strictly just to get me off of these streets quickly. But all they kids be listening to me religiously, so I'm signing CDs while police fingerprint me. Therefore the judge is pardoned, but his grudge is against me. If I'm such a fucking menace, this shit doesn't make sense, B. It's all political. If my music is literal and I'm a criminal, how the fuck can I raise a little girl? I couldn't, I wouldn't be fit to. You're full of shit too, Guerrera. That was a bitch that hit you.
I'm so used to you pausing
I
before
know.
chorus.
I know, but I don't know why with this song, I feel like you gotta hear, like, I feel like his verse leads directly into
That's
it, and he
fine.
feeds off of it.
I just wasn't really expecting it.
Yeah.
And wait, like, everyone was very, very good and commented on the other video we were talking about, the bouncer either getting pistol whipped or punched, and they said that he was punched. But so in here, Eminem says it was a fist, so it was punched. But then why in the skit does he openly say he pistol whipped him, or is that what we imagine?
So the line in the song is pistol whipping motherfucking bouncer 6'2".
So
So
like,
I don't know
did
if
he?
I don't know if when he's saying that line, he's just reading the headline of what people are
Wait,
reporting.
someone wrote that too. Someone wrote that too.
Yeah, so I was thinking maybe that's what it could be.
But he
Um,
never said he pistol whipped him in the skit, right?
no, it ends. It ends with him getting out of the car and rushing him, and then the song ends and
He was
goes right to Soldier.
accused of pistol whipping him
Yes, the guy.
because his gun fell, and then Gary, the good friend that he
Yeah,
is, picked
stashed
it
it.
up and took it. And honestly, Eminem, if you're watching this, which you're not, if you're not still friends with Gary, you should be, because he's like your best friend.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So, second verse, he says, "Entertainment is changing, intertwining with gangsters. In the land of the killers, a sinner's mind is his sanctum." I love that line.
That is pretty good.
So, what he's saying, like entertainment is changing and intertwining with gangsters. I mean, it was. You see, I mean, 50 Cent is like the
Yeah,
perfect example. You know what I mean?
yeah. The music, what I mean, I was young when this happened, so I don't really. Well, yeah, because it used to just be like the pop music was like NSYNC and like Backstreet Boys and Britney Spears, and like, yeah, rap was a thing, but it wasn't mainstream until like Eminem and 50 Cent.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but when we were kids, there was no rap at the Grammys. The Grammys didn't recognize
I
rap
don't
or
know if
hip
I
hop.
watched the Grammys when I was a kid.
But
Maybe I
yeah,
did.
they didn't recognize rap and
I
hip hop.
didn't recognize it.
No, they didn't. They were like that. Nope, that's not a form of
It's
music
not
that we
music.
acknowledge. Yeah,
Okay.
that's literally what they said. So that's what he's referring to. The people that were gangsters in real life.
Yeah, like it sure as
They're
hell wasn't on the radio.
yeah, they're getting into the music and the entertainment industry at
the
large.
the closest rap we got on the radio before Eminem was like I forgot the name, like House Party by Aaron Carter.
Mhm.
You remember that song?
I don't think that was before Eminem, but
To the left, to the right, make the
yeah.
noise.
So
See
so
you in the
there
house.
was So yeah, there was hip hop before, but Eminem had that crossover appeal where hip hop started appearing on like rock and roll stations and stuff that it
Yeah,
wasn't before. You
because
know
he
what I
was
mean?
Eminem and he
Yeah.
uses some like rock like beats. Like the song is with
Yeah.
Aerosmith. So like why wouldn't like the shark throw it on?
Yeah. So then I love the line, "In the land of the killers, a sinner's mind is his sanctum."
Yeah,
That's
that's
just
really
sick. Um, Holy or unholy, only have one homie,
cool.
only this gun, lonely, 'cause don't anyone know me. So he's saying all he
His only
can,
friend is a gun
it's the only thing he can rely on.
and Gary.
Yes. And he says, yet everybody just feels like they can relate. I guess words are a motherfucker. They can be great, or they can degrade, or even worse, they can teach hate. It's like these kids hang on every single statement we make. I love the way that rhymes. But it is true. Words can be great, or they can degrade, or they can teach
Yeah, exactly.
which is like his point.
Depending on how they're said, who says them, the context of your age, like a lot goes into it.
Yeah, exactly. They kids hang on every single statement we make, like they worship us. Plus, all the stores ship us platinum. now how the fuck did this metamorphosis happen? So the store's shipping platinum. That's, the I believe
Yeah, I don't know what that
the
means.
record sales, when you hear about someone getting certified platinum and gold, whatever. So back in the day, they would base those numbers based on the shipments of
Yeah.
CDs out. You know what I mean? So that's why you're saying they ship us platinum.
Mm,
Now, how the fuck did this metamorphosis happen? From standing on corners and porches just rapping to having a fortune, no more kissing ass. So he's talking about the emergence of,
yeah.
hip hop as a genre, and also the rappers and artists as well, who literally were just standing on corners rapping, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
now they're rich. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, that's
it's a crazy
cool.
transition from
Yeah.
being poor and in the hood to, having a fortune.
Literally being a celebrity.
Yep. So that's the good side of it. But then we get to the negative. But then these critics crucify you, journalists try to burn you, fans turn on you, attorneys all want to get they turn at you, I believe it is, all want to turn at you. To,
To represent you in your next court
or
case. Or to
yes,
sue
or to sue you.
you.
Yeah, both. They
Yeah.
want, attorneys want to get involved, wherever it is. Um, to get their hands on every dime you have, they want you to lose your mind every time you're mad.
Mm,
So they can try to make you out to look like a loose cannon. Any dispute won't hesitate to produce handguns. So again, more autobiographical information.
yeah.
That's why these prosecutors want to convict me strictly just to get me off these streets quickly. But all the kids be listening to me religiously. It's funny, he says it
Yeah.
religiously. So I'm signing CDs while police fingerprint me. They're for the judge's daughter, but his grudge is against me. If I'm such a fucking menace, this shit doesn't make sense. It's B. Like
And I was like, who's Pete?
doesn't make sense, Pete. That's fucking so funny. So that makes me laugh. So
Who's
it
Pete?
is B. That's so funny.
I
So
thought I forgot his manager's name. I was like, oh, he's singing the
Paul.
yeah, and then I was like, no, he's not.
So what he's talking about here is, it's funny, it's the children of all these people who are against him and don't like him that are his fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's talking about, that's why these prosecutors want to convict me strictly just to get me off these streets quickly. But all their kids be listening to me religiously. So I'm signing CDs while police fingerprint me. So the prosecutors and the police and then the judge,
Everybody.
they don't like him, but their kids are fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, he's signing autographs while he's at the fucking precinct or whatever. Um,
That's annoying. I would be like, get me off and then we'll talk.
yeah. He says they're for the judge's daughter, but his grudge is against me. If I'm such a fucking menace, this shit doesn't make sense, B. It's all political. It's all political. If my music is literal and I'm a criminal, how the fuck can I raise a little girl? I
Yeah.
couldn't. I wouldn't be fit to. You're full of shit too, Guerrera. That was a fist that hit you. So he's saying, if I'm this evil person that you talk about, that you claim I actually live out the things that I rap about, then how the fuck am I raising a little girl? How am I such a good father? You know what I mean? He's like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be, and it wouldn't even be possible.
That's true.
And then the line, you're full of shit too, Guerrera, that was a fist that hit you.
Yeah, we just talk about that.
So I read something somewhere, might have been on Genius or something, that he slightly changed his name here. I don't remember what the change is. Guerrero is not his actual name. He slightly changed it, I guess, so he couldn't get sued. And then that Guerrera might have a meaning. It might be an allusion to something. I don't recall what, but
all you gotta do is look up his name.
yeah. So that's just a little tidbit of useless information.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's where he's saying it was a fist that hit you and not pistol whip. And then we get back into the chorus, and we already did that, so we'll get into the third verse and finish this up.
They say music can alter moods and talk to you. You can load a gun up for you and cock it too. Well, if it can, and the next time you assault a dude, just tell the judge it was my fault, and I'll get sued. See what these kids do is hear about us toting pistols, and they wanna get one, cause they think the shit's cool, not knowing we really just protecting ourselves. We entertainers, of course the shit's affecting our sales, you ignoramus. But music is reflection of self, we just explain it, and then we get our checks in the mail. It's fucked up, ain't it? How we can come from practically nothing to being able to have any fucking thing that we wanted. That's why we sing for these kids who don't have a thing, except for a dream and a fucking rat magazine, who post pin-up pictures on their walls all day long, idolize their favorite rappers and know all their songs. Or for anyone who's ever been through shit in their lives, so they sit and they cry at night, wishing they died. So they throw on a rap record and they sit and they vibe with nothing to you but with the fucking shit in their eyes. That's why we seize the moment, try to freeze it and own it, squeeze it and hold it, cause we consider these minutes golden. And maybe they'll admit it when we're gone. Just let our spirits live on through our lyrics that you hear in our songs, and we can sing with that thing all the years, sing all the love, sing all the tears, sing with that start today, live tomorrow, the cloud will take you away.
There is more instrumental. There's no more verses.
Yeah.
There's a guitar solo and an outro, but I want to just go through this verse real quick and then we'll let it play out. So he starts the third verse. He says, they say music can alter moods and talk to you. Well, can it load a gun up for you and cock it too?
No.
So again, he's saying, so, music can maybe make you feel better or worse or whatever,
Yeah.
but it's not gonna physically do anything. That's
Yeah, it's not
still
gonna possess you.
exactly. There's a person still has to do it. It says, can it load a gun up for you and cock it too? Obviously, no.
Exactly.
He says, well, if it can, then the next time you assault a dude, just tell the judge it was my fault and I'll get sued. Which is funny. Then he says, see what these kids do is hear about us toting pistols and they want to get one because they think the shit's cool. Not knowing we're really just protecting ourselves. We entertainers, of course the shit's affecting our sales. So this is something that confused me for a little
Yeah,
bit.
I don't understand how those two lines relate.
So, okay, so this is my confusion. He's saying music can alter moods and talk to you, but can I load a gun up for you and cock it too? Saying that like, music can't make people do crazy shit, right?
Yeah.
But then in the next line, he's saying, see what these kids do is hear about us toting pistols and they want to get one because they think the shit's cool, not knowing we're really just protecting ourselves. So in the very next paragraph, he's saying, like, yeah, so kids actually do hear us talking about guns and they do want to go out and get guns because they hear us rapping about it. You know what I mean? So again, it's obviously not it's not making anybody do anything, and you're not committing crimes, but he is like
Yeah.
acknowledging that it can influence kids and people to want to do some things.
Or to just have a gun in general, like as like a possession, not necessarily like to use it for anything bad.
Yeah, maybe. Not knowing we're really just protecting ourselves, we entertainers. Of course, the shit's affecting our sales. You ignoramus.
What is affecting the sales?
So them having like guns and being like gangsters and shit.
So in a good way or a bad way?
So
Or both?
I take it as a negative way. It's
Okay.
affecting the sales because,
Like
the
parents are like, no.
violence. Yeah, because he's saying, oh, the kids think it's cool to have a gun, but the only reason we have them is because, we have to
Does he
protect
mean that?
ourselves
Yeah.
and it's actually hurting us. So guns aren't that cool. Don't try to emulate us. Do you know what I mean? That's
True.
how I take it. And then he says, but music is reflection of self. We just explain it and then we get our checks in the mail. It's fucked up, ain't it? How we can come from practically nothing to being able to have any fucking thing that we wanted.
I don't
So,
know if that's fucked up. A lot of people would switch positions with you.
no, it is just crazy though. You know what
Yeah,
I
it's like
mean?
it's just
It's
wild.
wild. Yeah, for sure.
Jinx.
Yes. So then he says, that's why we sing for these kids who don't have a thing except for a dream and a fucking rap magazine, who post pinup pictures on their walls all day long, idolize their favorite rappers and know all their songs. So again, he's saying he's doing this for the kids who, they have nothing. They just love hip hop. They
Hmm.
idolize their rappers, know all their songs. And then he says, or for anyone who's ever been through shit in their lives, till
Everyone.
yes, till they sit and they cry at night, wishing they die, till they throw on a rap record and sit and they vibe. We're nothing to you, but we're the fucking shit in their
So you
eyes.
never knew what he was saying in that line.
Really?
Mm.
This might be my favorite part. This is definitely my favorite verse for
I
sure.
know the verse, but when he says we're nothing to you, but we're the fucking
Fucking
shit
shit in
in their
there.
eyes, I
Yeah.
thought he was saying with nothing to do but wipe the fucking shit from their eyes.
That's
So I
so
was like,
funny.
oh,
Yeah, no, so he's
like as
saying
if they're
like
like crying. I'm like, okay.
so he's saying like, yeah, you people, like I suppose referring to again the white parents that he spoke about in the beginning, like, you look down on us, you don't like us or respect us, but like we're actually relating to these kids and,
Yeah,
we help them, we give
feel
them
like they're not
comfort.
alone.
Exactly. Um, and then this is probably the coolest part of the song, in my opinion. He says that's why we seize the moment, try to freeze it and own it, squeeze it and hold it, because we consider these minutes golden. And maybe they'll admit it when we're gone. Just let our spirits live on through our lyrics that you hear in our songs. And we can, then it catches
And then
on
the
to the chorus.
chorus.
Yeah, but it's awesome. He's acknowledging that there's a moment. So, this is, I would say, peak Eminem in terms of record sales right around now. And he realizes that it's the moment he's in,
Yeah,
and they try to capture it and appreciate it, and the knowing it's not going to last forever. You know what I mean?
exactly.
And then he says, maybe they'll admit it when we're gone. So, like, all the people that are like doubting us, you know what I mean? Saying we're not shit, we're not real music, it's not art, we're causing more harm than good. He's like, maybe when we're dead, people can finally acknowledge, our positive impact.
They acknowledge it now, I think.
No, there's
Especially because like
more
the
people
people
don't.
who listen to them are our age now and
Yeah,
some are like we're like a little older than us too.
yeah. I will let it play out here. There's a pretty sick guitar solo, which, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he actually did have the guitar player from Aerosmith actually do the solo for the song. I think so.
It's cool.
Steve Perry, maybe? I think. I'm not positive about that. All right.
Yeah, I never listened to the whole ending of that song.
Yeah, I love that. So it's funny. That's why when we go through these songs and it sounds like the song's obviously over, I always wait because I know that he does have some long instrumental outros.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, sing for the moment.
So I know the song. It's really
Yes.
good. It's more slower paced than like songs I typically like. I like fast paced songs, good beat. There's a good beat though. I love the Aerosmith cover.
Yeah.
Definitely love the Aerosmith cover. Love the ending. I would say it's one of my favorites on the album. Definitely not my favorite. I like the message too. Like it's pretty cool. I think it's cool that he's like acknowledging instead of just being like, ah, y'all are crazy. I think he's acknowledging like people, like he understands, I guess, why people feel that way, but like then shows them why like they're wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
You like this one?
Yeah, I love this. For a while, this was my favorite song on the album.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not anymore?
I don't think so. It's crazy. There's so many fucking songs on this album.
Don't tell him yet.
Oh, so you don't remember so you don't know. So one of your favorite Eminem songs is on this album that we haven't got to yet. And
One
then
of my favorites?
yes. And then I love Haley's song,
What is
which
it?
do you want me to tell you? You just told me not to tell you.
It's the video.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want them to know in case it is my favorite.
You've mentioned it in other videos
Okay, then what
before.
is it?
It's Superman.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. It's not my favorite though.
I said one of your favorite Eminem
Yeah.
songs.
I love that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, don't forget to like and subscribe,
Yes.
and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yes. See you soon.